this video, I will talk about how they choose and train a potential collaborator. They are looking for people, but they can't find them because in dual worlds like this there are several external stresses. So when you open a higher door, you also open a door with the demonic world and the level of clash rises. So you must be prepared to endure that clash. A potential collaborator is trained for a time that requires cycles of 10 years in 10 years. In fact, first you must get out of the negative compulsive behaviors that are also energetic structure. If you endure that period of transformation, they decide that you can carry out the mission. And also I would like to talk about the sloths, those who turn their heads to the other side. The sloth is the one who conforms to the system, who respects the laws and pays taxes, but who is indifferent to the problems of the world. In the parables of the talents, the master mistreats the servants who receive a talent and buries it. The sloth do not serve the good, lacking in their evolutionary duty. In fact, we have a debt to life and God, and we must repay this debt using this life to evolve. Pier Giorgio Carria, researcher and documentarist on the UFO phenomenon, whose mentor was Eugenio Siragusa, tells his story of contact. Eugenio told me that it was them to choose, but they must have a parameter, and from a purely legal point of view, if I had met the parameters, the contact would have become a right. I wanted a direct contact with them without the intermediary of Eugenio. I have been seeing them since I was a child, so I asked them for it. If they agreed for the contact in a place and at an hour I had chosen, I would cooperate with them. One evening I was with Antonio, a friend, and we had to go to Sarchittu. But my uncle had had a sighting at Supallosu, which means the place of the straw. The contact was so traumatic for him that he became ill from the fright. He was saved by an old Sardinian lady who remembered the wisdom of the ancient neuralgic practices related to the energy of the earth. So I said to Antonio if he didn't mind turning to go to Supallosu, and while I was in the car, I asked the brothers of the space, "If you are listening to me, I ask you to show yourself on this place." But it was a sort of joke, I didn't really believe it. I did not say anything to Antonio, and we went there, and out of nowhere a beautiful spaceship, bigger than the moon, appeared above the head of my friend. The colors of the spaceship were so beautiful, they do not exist here on Earth, but the most absurd thing is that I felt inside of me a voice together with an emotion that told me, "The love you are feeling is the love that God feels when He creates." But I felt like overwhelmed and sick as if I had a trip. Extraterrestrials have many bases all over the planet, underground or under the seas. It is good to explain the hurt of contact because it's only a few years away. The outer aspects of the extraterrestrial visit are beautiful, but they don't give us the tools of emancipation. In fact, the perfect storm is coming. The fall of the economy, the war that will reach even Europe, and the climatic upheaval. So we should focus on earning the tickets for the flying saucers and saving ourselves. And this can happen only if you are helping others and contributing to human development. In a survival regime, gasoline became a barrage for low-income families, and the clash between East and West will become increasingly hard, so the battle of Armageddon is close. The hollow Earth is the structure of the planet. All planets are hollow, and inside the Earth there is a small sun that feeds the internal seas. There is an atmosphere of the internal and external seas. There are animals, vegetation, and an humanity of giants, together with some cohabitation with extraterrestrial civilizations. Ufologists have always wondered Why, very often, all flying saucers go either to the north or to the south because the entrances to the hollow earth are at the two poles. There is a particular condition where the line of force of the magnetic field are close, so the earth breathes through these two exits, and then the matter returns energy and then closes. The novel Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne is an allegory. Probably the author had some initiatory information or lived a direct experience, but given the time, he could not speak openly about it. Extraterrestrials calls our planet Saras, that is repetition and error. The beings that are embedded in these words are beings of various areas of the Milky Way with serious evolutionary problems. So here we are in a sort of prison. But then some of us, even though we have our faults, feel uncomfortable in this society and try to change it because they have inside the seed of beauty and love. So who are the slothful and where they will go? The slothful is the one who conforms to the system but is indifferent to the problems of the world. He is the one who does not protest against anything, who never has a creative expression in his life and believes everything the system wants him to believe. The slothful is the right thinking, the one who with his attitude gives strength to this criminal system as he does not oppose it. He does not contest the corruption we have in the world. If the human being does not use his life to evolve, will generate karma. Even a criminal with his troubled life acquires 1,000 survival skills. And instead, a slothful is not capable of doing anything. Pius IX said, "Man has been able to develop a cycle of death and terror that he cannot stop." If we follow the geopolitical events, the United States has been trying for years to disconnect the energy cord that binds the heart of Europe to Russia. In fact, the South Stream has jumped. The Ukrainians are a martyr people. In fact, as they come from 70 years of communism, they are very naive. Now, the small amount of gas that we still receive from Ukraine passes through many of those countries. Separating Russia from Europe was intended to weaken Russia, but Putin, who at first seemed pro-Western, turned the table. In the plans of the projects for the new American century, Russia had to be submitted. At that time, the deep American state had Boris Yeltsin literally in his hands. So the Americans thought they had subdued Russia. But in 2007, at the Munich conference, Putin overturned the table, saying that the unipolar order was not good and the world order had to be revised. They all got shocked by his statement. In fact, till then, Russia had started a process of integration into NATO. Putin has escaped the domination of the West. Speculative money turned out to be useless if you don't have the resources. With petrodollars, it was easy to print paper and buy resources at no cost just by printing money. This costed the lives of Saddam Hussein and Gaddafi, who wanted to create an African gold dinar and an African central bank for the whole continent. So now the idea that financial speculation could subdue Russia jumped. They also tried to overthrow Erdogan with a coup, but they failed and the gum is jumping in. But why Putin does not back down? The secret services must have informed me that if he surrenders to enjoy his assets and get off the scene, he would be assassinated. He would lose the political support of a large portion of his people. China would let him down. The CIA would support an international riot and murder him. The only possibility to sort this crisis out would be that the Western leaders go to him and make concessions that he cannot turn down. From a spiritual point of view, Our Lady said at Fatima, "If humanity does not accept my request, God will destroy the world through Russia." So this could be part of a prophetic plan. Henry Kissinger, in an interview with Fox News, said, "The United States and its allies are waddling on the brink of a military confrontation with Moscow, which means that the world is fraught with nuclear tension." And already in 2014, he had prophesied about the danger of a war in Ukraine and had also stated, "Russia would not be able to impose a military solution without isolating itself, and for the West, the demonization of Vladimir Putin is not a policy, it is an alibi for the absence of one." So thanks for watching, please subscribe and see you in the next videos.